So this morning I woke up and God put in my mind remembrance of this dream I had almost 3 years ago when I was very first saved, and I wanted to share it with you. So in this dream, it was just pitch black, and this huge slab of metal showed up, and little by little, this metal, I just saw this fire, and this fire was like shaving down this metal like really slowly, and then as I'm watching, I started hearing the words, narrow is the way, narrow is the way, narrow is the way, over and over again. And this might have gone on for hours. I don't even know. And then I woke up and I thought, well, that's the most bizarre dream ever. At this point, I knew what narrow is the way, I knew what that meant. I knew that God was saying that not many people are going to make it. Most people are going to take the broad path, but very few people are going to go the narrow way, which is what the cost is to follow Jesus. And then, anyway, this morning, God put that dream on my heart, and I kept hearing in my spirit, refiner's fire. So I started looking up things about refiner's fire, and I found this gem. So I wrote it down here. I don't have it memorized. So Zechariah 13, verse 7 to 9, it says, Awake, sword, against my shepherd. I believe this is speaking of Jesus. Against the man who is close to me, declares the Lord Almighty. 2/3 will be struck down and perish, yet 1/3 will be left in it. The third I will put into the fire. I will refine them like silver and test them like gold. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. I will say, They are my people, and they will say, The Lord is our God. I read this, and my jaw literally dropped. It's when you follow Christ, and anybody who's truly following Him, they know there's going to be a long period of just straight pruning. When I realized who Jesus was a couple years ago and told him that I would serve him the rest of my life because he saved me, I did not realize at the time how severe I call it the training was going to be. I was pruned just constantly. And it was years of not just like changing myself mentally, but also a very bad physical pain. I got diagnosed with this terrible disease a couple years ago, basically as soon as I started following Christ. And it wasn't until later that God revealed to me that this is just part of the walk. And I find that most believers who really walk close to the Lord go through it the worst. But it makes sense because if God's going to use you, He has to take everything that the world put in you. And I was in the world for 35 years before I got saved. That's a lot of the world. And He's going to replace that with Him. And this takes pruning, this takes time, this takes making the same mistake over and over again. And so all this to say, I don't know, just that time's ticking. The road really is narrow. Let Him prune you. If it's going to be painful, let Him prune you. Let Him work in and through you. And if you're having a tough go at it, it probably means you're doing something right.